Yo guys, so before the video starts, I just wanted to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, my longtime friends over at Adam and Eve. We are partnering up today to give my audience a special deal, 50% off an item of your choice, plus free shipping when you check out with code JAMARI. That's J-A-M-A-R-I, JAMARI. There is no minimum purchase required, and who doesn't love free shipping? They have stuff for men, they have stuff for women, they have stuff for couples, and everyone on the spectrum. So treat yourself as someone special today with Adam and Eve using code JAMARI. So recently, Rockstar Games announced the long-anticipated continuation in their extremely popular series Grand Theft Auto 6. And obviously a lot of people were jizzing their pants over this news. I mean, it has been over a decade since they released GTA 5, which still has a massive player base till this day. Like, imagine that game coming out when you were in middle school, and GTA 6 coming out as you're getting married or as you're graduating college to understand that time span. Hell, maybe you've been working at Dollar General for the last 10 years. I'm not here to judge. The trailer itself got 100 million views in the first 24 hours of its release, which is absolute insanity, only rivaled by the streaming farms that Taylor Swift owns. And while I do have time played on GTA 4 and GTA 5, personally I kinda tapped out after Vice City and San Andreas. But I will say Vice City is one of my favorite games of all time. I vividly remember the first time I saw my older cousin playing Grand Theft Auto 3 on Christmas Day at my grandma's house, and begging my parents to let us get it. Just the idea of running around this open world doing whatever the fuck you want was so cool to my 8-year-old brain, especially when crime was involved. This was actually my first M-rated game in general, and at the time it was pretty hardcore for my parents to watch on as I ran over a hooker while money flew out of her body. What I'm trying to say is, I definitely understand the hype for this game, which won't come out until 2025. For a lot of people of different generations, this is their favorite video game series of all time, with thousands upon thousands of hours played in both the main campaign and online in their role-playing community. And of course, with a lot of popularity always comes a lot of skepticism, and that's where Elon Musk slides in to give his 2 cents, tweeting out that he tried to play GTA 5 but didn't like doing crime. GTA 5 required shooting police officers in the opening scene, and that he just couldn't do it. And I have to say, the concept of Elon Musk booting up a PS4, buying and downloading GTA 5, only for him to turn the console off after the opening scene in disappointment over committing crime, dropping the controller, and crying his eyes out over a video game is hilarious. This dude is so full of shit. Like, had he never played the other 5 games? Beyond that, isn't he known for being like the anti-woke guy? The billionaire edgelord who stands for freedom of speech? But this is where he wants to draw the line as a video game that is literally titled in crime? This is the same old argument that people have been trying to use against games like Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty for years.
Virtual violence, in this case playing one of the most popular, profitable, and most violent games, Call of Duty, a so-called first-person shooter, because the player takes on a killer's point of view. But is this just good fun, or is an entire generation being trained and desensitized to the act of shooting people?
Like, while we're at it, let's also ban explicit music and violent depictions in books.
In the 1950s, it was comic books and a full Senate hearing over the belief that they were making America's kids turn violent.
It really sounds like freedom of expression to me. Like, I saw him play this shit when I was a kid, and the whole point was to piss off the police. And sometimes you would take one out just for the fun of it to get those 2 stars off the bat of your rampage until you went out Scarface style. Like, it's a game. It's make-believe. Of course, his biggest bootlickers came out to agree, like this dude who I cannot stand named Ian Miles Chong, who replied, "I'm glad shooting cops in Cyberpunk is completely optional. Never finished GTA 5 either." Like, he is truly the biggest Elon and Twitter simp I've ever seen. I'm convinced this fool would put that Neuralink microchip in his brain just for Elon to call him a good boy one single time before he slaughtered him like those pigs he experimented on. And the most hilarious part to me is that the community notes came in to clap his ass. Ian Miles Chong has ran up to 255 GamerRank articles covering GTA 5, including descriptions of him personally or evading virtual police in the game's single-player mode, totally exposing him as the ultimate bootlicker. Even the Tate brothers tapped into the conversation.
I remember you used to play a little man in a red hat trying to rescue a princess and teaming up with your brother. Now, if rescuing purity from evil while teaming up for your brother isn't a good theme of a video game, then I don't really know what is. I'm not a fan of anyone under the age of 18, 21 maybe, playing video games where the goal is to shoot police officers. I just don't think that's good for society. With all the amazing graphics and engines and whatever people put into these video games, I feel like you could create a better objective with the game, you know? Maybe you are the police officer. Maybe you are trying to stop
Sorry, carry on.
criminals.
Sorry.
And I think this just goes with their long list of recent great takes, like when Andrew said that cooking food was gay. And the most ironic part is, I'm 100% convinced that these are all people who would be just fine with crime being committed in real life, as long as they were the beneficiary. And they're all people who claim to stand for free speech, and essentially not being a pussy. But here they are crying about a fucking video game, crying about some pixels on a screen. Like, the irony in this situation is just undeniable. It's just crazy to me that people have been trying to run with these anti-video game narratives for such a long time, when they really should be advocating for better parenting and the normalization of talking about mental health problems and disorders. I mean, if you're to the point where you cannot differentiate between video games and real life, I think you have much deeper mental problems than what's going on your console. But I want to know what you guys think about this whole situation down below. I just found the whole thing to be hilarious. Are you guys hyped for GTA 6? Let me know down below in the comments. Either way, I want to thank you guys for tuning into today's video, dropping a like, and of course subscribing. But as you guys know, it's been your boy the Tan Superman, and some of the crybabies out here need to be covered, so I'm out. Peace!